Good evening. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and I'm here with today's recap of events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. And the question for today is small business screwed? I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But right now, with the current COVID situation, it's dominating the news, obviously. Right now, the current cases are over 635,000 basically right now. 658,000 actually cases right now in the U.S. 658,000 cases. The deaths right now are over 32,000 deaths so far just in the last 3 months basically. New Jersey keeps crawling up there. Now they have 75,000 cases, 3,500 deaths, and the governor thinks that he's still at least a week away from the peak in the state. And those numbers keep growing every day. Today's news broke, and a nursing home in North Jersey, someone called up one of the state senators and said they need body bags. They discovered 17 bodies in this one nursing home. I don't know what the hell is going on. I haven't got the full story yet, but 17 bodies in one nursing home. Now, what's interesting is that out of all the cases, all the 658,000 cases so far that have been reported, somewhere between 10 and 20% of those are actually healthcare workers. That's a large population in one small little workforce. Now, outside of the physical things, the risk to them and their families personally of getting infected themselves, a lot of them are, and the risk of bringing that home to their families, there's a major psychological problem going on right now, and it's starting to creep up, and you're going to see more and more of that as time goes by. There was one nurse today, she was absolutely in tears from the stress of that many dead bodies. She goes in, she sees her patients, and she sees them 1 minute, comes back in a minute, and there's a dead body there now. It's really, really stressful for these people. You don't go into healthcare for the money. You go into healthcare because you want to do good, you want to help people. And you understand that people are going to die. However, ER nurses, ICU nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists, they're all being stressed out. Nobody is used to, they were never trained for, nor could they ever train for, the volume of activity that they're having, the number of critically ill patients that are dying on them every day. As a respiratory therapist, when I was working, if somebody died and I was there, once a month on average, you could halfway live with that. It took a toll on you, but you could halfway live with it. But here, every day, 1 or 2 people a day dying. Your mind has a problem trying to put all that together and keep some sanity and keep doing the job, because there are people who need your help. So the psychological toll is going to be taking a really, really big risk on people right now. You're going to see more of that in the coming weeks and months, without a doubt, in the world. Now, what else is going on here today? The problem outside of the nursing staff, you still have other workers that are having problems. One of the main groups right now is the food processing people. The clerks in the stores, for starters. Let's go to those people first. They're getting paid less than $10, $11 an hour, and they're going in there and they're stocking shelves every day. And it's not a glorious job, but a larger percentage of these people every day are getting sick and they're dying. And the problem with that is that it's happening because the customers are coming in and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. 85% of the customers that go into these stores are not social distancing. They're not wearing masks, which puts all these really low-paid workers at risk. Now, other than those workers, the transit workers in New York City have been really hit hard. They've had twice as many COVID deaths as New York City Police and Fire Department combined. The transit workers. Yesterday I mentioned a processing plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, owned by Smithfield Farms. I had mentioned that. I mentioned it 2 days ago. I mentioned it again yesterday because their numbers were kept growing. Well, today, okay, that plant is still shut down, but 2 more of the Smithfield plants were also shut down because of the COVID spread. One in Wisconsin, one in Missouri. And they made the national news. And you're going to see more and more of these plants shutting down because these are labor-intensive jobs with close contact to other people. Now, it not only affects the workers in the plants, obviously, but when they go home, it affects their families. Now, who's working in these plants? A lot of immigrant workers are working in these plants. They're not getting paid a lot of money, so they go home to their families, which are probably in a cramped space, and now their family's at risk. Their family goes out to buy things, interact with the rest of the community, and that spreads. Okay, that's called community spread, and that's why we do social distancing. I mean, the virus doesn't spread itself. It doesn't. It doesn't move by itself. If people don't move, the virus doesn't move. Stay at home. Stay at home whenever you possibly can. When you go out, if you have to go out, and you will have to go out at some point in time, wear a mask. Don't change your behavior to avoid infection. Assume you're infected and change your behavior, okay, to avoid transmission. It's the only really responsible thing to do, and a lot of people are being that responsible, which is a really nice thing. Now, more and more workers are getting problems with COVID, especially in the food processing sectors, and that's going to increase. As that increases, okay, the food chain supply itself is going to be affected. Because again, you got that many workers in a spot, they can't work, the plant shuts down, what they used to produce for food no longer comes out of that plant. And slowly it gets chipped away. Now, all in all, there's tons of food around, but it can't get processed to get to you. Or it can't get delivered to get to you. So there's things going in the way of that. Lansing, Michigan made the news today. Very, very interesting happening in Lansing, Michigan. Somewhere between 1,000, maybe 2,000 people came out, spurred on by Fox News commentators, to express their First Amendment rights to protest the state governor's stay-at-home order. Hey, everybody's allowed to have a right. No problem at all. Now, the governor said, and I quote, "It was essentially a political rally. This small group came out together without masks on, passing out candy with bare hands to children who were congregating together, brandishing their weapons, having posters of being any choice. This is a political rally. It is a political rally that is going to endanger people's lives because this is precisely how COVID-19 spreads." That's exactly what she said. Now, the interesting thing is, as of today, Michigan has the 4th largest number of COVID cases in the country. They have 28,000 people diagnosed with COVID, and they have just under 2,000 deaths so far. Now, these people were blocking the entrances to the hospital. Hospital staff couldn't get to work. One guy was so frustrated, he made a video. Okay, he's just in his car. He couldn't get past the lines. He had to go to work in a hospital. He couldn't get in there. Okay, now, there's nothing wrong. If you want to protest, that's a good thing. It really is, to bring people's attention to something that you think is absolutely horrendous. No problems with that. Everybody has a right to protest. And you should. You've got that right. And that right goes all the way up to the point where it starts to interfere with my right. And my right goes all the way up to the point where it starts to interfere with your right. Now, if you want to go out without a mask, without social distancing, and protest and associate yourself with other people doing the same thing, no problem. In the middle of a pandemic, go right ahead. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. However, my best guess is that in a matter of a week or two, you're going to see a big spike in the COVID cases, and you're going to be able to trace it back to the people who went to that protest. Just a guess. Again, I'm not a god here. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's my guess of what's going to happen. Now, it all goes back to the problem of facts and personal biases. Now, most any normal person, especially an ICU nurse or a doctor, is going to acknowledge the fact that there's a COVID pandemic. There's a fact that it's spread by people, and the fact is it's highly contagious. And when you have a group of people that have a personal bias that tells them to completely deny the facts, it causes a problem. Not only were they denying the facts, they were so entrenched in their beliefs that they thought they were entitled to extend their beliefs to someone else and prevent them from exercising their own personal rights. Simply go to work in a hospital to save lives. This is where you have problems. Okay. Some people just don't want to spend time with their minds. They don't want to challenge themselves or their beliefs. They gather with like-minded people and individuals and reinforce each other's beliefs that they're absolutely right and everybody else is absolutely wrong. Black versus white, red versus blue. Okay. Nothing like that is going to advance society or any other individuals in the society. It's a really, really big problem. And if you truly feel that way, it makes it absolutely impossible to get anything done. Spend some time with your mind in a quiet place. Question your own words, your own actions. Do they line up with what your core beliefs actually are? You don't have to be part of a crowd. Spend some time with yourself. See how you think. Reflect on your own actions and your own words. Okay, it'll be time well spent. It'll get you more grounded. Okay, you'll get to see where you fit in with the rest of the world. The world does not necessarily revolve around you. It doesn't revolve around me. We're all on this planet. There's a number of people on this planet, and we need to work together. We don't have to love each other, but we should at least be able to work together. And part of that is respecting someone else's rights. And remember, your rights go all the way up to the point where mine start. Mine go all the way up to the point where yours start. But I can't force my opinions on you. You shouldn't be forcing your opinions on me. When those things happen, it causes problems. We don't want problems. We want to be able to move ahead. Now, the unemployment numbers this week, up to 5.25 million claims just this last week. And that number is going to continue to grow. The president still wants to reopen the economy, but he can't. Okay, it's really up to the governors, and they're busy watching the science as they should. Now, I caught part of the president's briefing today. Today, a semi-normal president came into place. It was amazing. I don't know for how long it's going to stay that way, but the part that I saw, he sounded normal. It was a lovely thing. It really was. He plans on taking this in steps. He's got guidelines. Fauci came on and said, oh yeah, health is first. It was, the part that I saw was really, really nice. It made sense. It's nice when that happens. Now, everybody acknowledges that, it's going to open at some point in time. And when it does, there's going to be problems. They're going to try and lessen the problems. We'll see how far that goes. Again, this problem has existed since January. And you can't really open up the economy. Well, they're going to open it up. They're going to open up the economy without testing everybody. Because they can't test everybody. This has been going on since January 1, basically. Here we're on mid-April right now. Right now, they've tested less than 1% of the population. So they're going to start to open the economy without adequate testing. There's going to be some problems along the way. Okay. Now, the biggest problem is the Defense Production Act is not being totally utilized the way it's supposed to be. I don't know why the president doesn't want to come in and do those things. I don't know what interest he has, what friends he has. Something's going on that's preventing him from utilizing the Defense Production Act. Okay. There is no one single person in charge of getting all the tests out the door and actually done. Okay. On top of that, some people are supposed to be receiving their stimulus checks. Okay. That got held up by some people for another week or two because the president wanted his name on the checks. But the direct deposits, some people are supposedly receiving them. Now, I personally have no knowledge of anyone who's actually received a stimulus check. I've asked around. I've posted things on Facebook. Okay, if you received a check, let me know. I'm trying to track down how many people actually receive checks. Right now, I don't know anybody personally. Part of that stimulus bill was intended for small businesses to get their payroll up and running. Okay, and if you've had a small business, okay, you've had a terrible time. Which brings us to today's question. if you have a small business, is your small business screwed? Chances are, yeah, it has been. Okay? If you've got a small business, you couldn't get your application in. The banks weren't taking them. Okay? Right now, as of today, basically 3 days into it, the banks stopped taking applications. The money's dried up already. It's all allocated. All that money that went into that business plan, the PPP loan plan, is already been allocated. If you don't have it, you're not going to get it. Okay? And the problem is that there's a difference between what people think are small businesses. I discussed this before. I'm going to discuss it again. Okay, my idea of small business is the mom and pop place with 0 to 6 employees, maybe a dozen employees or so. That's a small business to me. The restaurant, the dry cleaners, the nail salon, okay, the hairdresser, okay, small guys, a small garage, okay, does car repairs. These are small businesses. These people weren't equipped to even file the paperwork that was involved in this situation. There was a lot of paperwork going on, and bigger companies that have 100, 200 employees, they have somebody on staff that knows their only job is to figure out how to get money for that business. Now, they're not bad people. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But all that money was allocated for the idea of helping small businesses, and it's not getting there. It hasn't got there, and not about to get there either. Now, what's going on right now is that, okay, a lot of people are feeling, they're getting screwed. Okay. They're supposed to be getting money. Supposed to try and save things. It's not happening. Right now, the House and Senate are going back and forth trying to get something done. And some of them just want to throw more money at the same program without changing any rules. Some other people say, oh no, okay, we did that. The money didn't get to where it needed to go. And we need to do something different in order to get the money to the small businesses. So some people are actually trying to do that. Now, we're going to see what happens. Okay, it might take a while. I don't know. Okay, I'll be watching and I'll keep you posted. Anyway, for now, turn off the news. These are exceptionally troubled times. And you're getting inundated with information. Much, much more information than what you need. And none of it is going to make you feel good. Turn off the news. Okay. You don't know who's reporting the news, what their personal biases are, and how they interpret actual facts. Spend some time with your mind. Question yourself. Question your beliefs. Question what you hear. Okay. Does it make sense or not? Does it line up with your core values? Is something you're saying or doing not making sense? If you don't stop and take that time for introspection, okay, you just follow the crowd and you get carried away, and all of a sudden you're not thinking now. You're just following the crowd. And you talk to any police officer. Okay, you can reason with an individual. You can't reason with a crowd. It's a totally different situation. They get swept up in the emotions. And all reason goes out the window. So, spend some time with your mind. It'll be time well spent. It really will be. Okay. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor. Okay. I'm here to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. I've had a good time being with you tonight. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Like and share this video. I'm going to post it again on YouTube, and I'll have a link there. I do every day. There's a present in the top of the box on the page that it goes to. And there's always something different in there every day. Go and check that out. You'll be amused. But for now, again, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow. Thank you.